in the teeth of their rival for a century.
Doesn't even take an hour to get from Eugene to Corvallis. Here we go for 3 hours this afternoon. And the opening touch of the football given to Oregon State as Oregon defers. Load up the backfield out of the pistol. Jam Griffin, the tailback, and he's got the opening carry, and a penalty comes in. So we introduce you to Mark Kluzinski, our referee.
I'll start. Number 88.
He is on the near side wearing number 7. Out of the motion, it'll be McCoy over the middle, incomplete. He wanted Walker. Some great transfers, including Kobe Savage from Kansas State. He wants Griffin out of the backfield. That's incomplete. Penalties may be huge in this game. You see Uiagalelei standing up. He's on his way in. He got there. McCoy turns it upfield and has space to deal with. Giovanni McCoy broke free for a huge gain for Oregon State. There's a marker in. We'll see if it stands.
Personal foul. Illegal blindside block. Offense number 18. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
So that's a spot foul. That's worth noting. It's on Jeremiah Noga, the wide receiver. Trent Bray is incensed.
But a big play to first down nonetheless.
They'll run it. Jam Griffin. If you read lips, you may have seen Trent Bray signaling that this is an agricultural school. There was a comment maybe about fertilizer on the sideline on the penalty. This whole coaching staff, 2 coordinators, head coach, former Beaver players. 2nd down and 7. It's McCoy rolling and throwing, flowing this way. It's a first down and more to the 40-yard line. Bryce Caulfield, who had the touchdown against San Diego State, it's a gain of 15.
Yeah, the edges of this defense have been a little bit of an issue for Oregon.
Walker in the slot left, their most consistent receiver. McCoy looked him off, throws the other way. It's tipped and incomplete. Take it in, slow myself down. Play action. He'll throw it over the middle. He's got Taz Reddix. Terry to the formation right there. Anthony Hankerson in for the first time. And they'll run it with Hankerson to the short side and pick up a yard.
Make them feel the weight of being a top 10 team.
Like 2 years ago with a Pac-12 title game berth on the line here. McCoy bails again, and he's tripped up down to the 24-yard line. 10th play of this opening drive. Walker in motion. He's got him open on a crosser, and he's out of bounds.
Both sides of the ball said, we are going to be aggressive.
Early movement at the line. This is from 43 for the opening lead. It is blocked. Who's been extraordinarily accurate so far, 59 for 70. Hands it off on an opening carry for Jordan James, who gets to the outside.
And you'd like to see him play as Bo did, with just tremendous urgency.
He'll run it again, straight forward. And James, as Oregon tries to dictate some physicality early on. Tez Johnson, who had the big kick return for a touchdown last week, in motion. Gabriel on the throw. He comes near side, and that's a wide open Trayshawn Holden. Gabriel right down the middle, on target, Tez Johnson, who spins away from 2 and gets belted down to the 31-yard line. Nobody's had more catches in a single season for Oregon than Tez Johnson last year. Now Jordan James.
He's going to have to be an eraser, just going to try to have to eliminate the explosive plays and make the Ducks earn it.
The tight end Ferguson downstairs. Gabriel throws. Tez Johnson switches direction and gets undercut. It's 1st and goal. This opening drive has been very self-assured. Gabriel again whistling it far side. That's Evan Stewart's first catch. Full bunch on the top side. They'll break out of it and come near side on the 8th play of the drive. It's James. Straight ahead. Touchdown, Oregon. There was no gift basket in his locker, certainly. It's impossible not to hear it, especially in this rivalry. Sappington drives it, and Card will let it go through the end zone. Jonathan Smith left for Michigan State. He's in his first year there. But all Oregon State on the coaching side as they will run it on first down. Birch got the first hit in there, and there is a marker down. says it all. Hankerson again, off the right side. They've had that in a couple of their rooms over the years. The running back room is one of them. That's Hankerson again.
But this is back to who they've been this season.
71% run. It was 60% pass on the opening drive. 3rd down and 4. McCoy throwing to Hankerson off the bobble. Did he ever put it away? No, incomplete.
Always.
1st down. That's Noga. He tried to throw it back. He's got McCoy, and his throw is incomplete. They've known each other for a long time. They played together at Oregon State, linebacker and quarterback. 2nd down run. Hankerson again, and he is stonewalled. See Uyunglele down at the bottom of the line. DJ's brother Mateo playing for Oregon. Quick throw. Walker, 1st down. Short set and a laser. Who sees as many targets as anybody through 2 weeks. Inside run. Hankerson is bottled up. Hankerson, the tailback. They'll go straight ahead again, and it's Hankerson rummaging for very close to the line to gain. He's going to be just short. Couple of tight ends in. They'll go right back to the ground. Hankerson shuffling outside to the 15. 7 runs on the drive, mostly Hankerson. Jam Griffin is into the ball game on a 2nd down and 8. McCoy pops it over the top. It's Walker. It's 3rd down and 1 coming up. The ball came free, but he was down. Bodies staring at each other. Straight up the middle, and that is a 1st down.
Jam Griffin.
Hankerson back in. They'll run one more play before the end of the 1st. Off the Walker motion. Straight ahead. Hankerson beats down the door. Touchdown Beavers.
They know what to do with it. Because it is a sickening feeling when you can't stop the run.
This kick will fly into the end zone. Let's go back to the touchdown in your clicker. Last play of quarter number 1 in a tie ball game. Jordan James had the touchdown. This is Terrence Ferguson, the tight end, who rumbles to about the 30-yard line.
Yeah, we got to stop him on 3rd down. Had some opportunities on 3rd down. We didn't get stops there. Got to control the quarterback on the scrambles.
Thank you, Dan.
Oregon State was 4 for 5 on 3rd down in the opening quarter. And the Ducks get it back. At the end of the 1st, Dillon Gabriel throwing this way again. Terrence Ferguson blitzing down the sideline. And finally, in plus territory or so, knocked out of bounds after a gain of 20.
Well, I showed that motion with Trent Walker on the other side. It is the same thing. You're going to see, it's not the pre-snap motion, but post-snap, he comes across. Does Ferguson in these tight ends so many times to cut off in the zone run game. And it makes it so difficult when it's the same look. But instead of blocking, number 3 knows what to do with it when the ball's in his hands.
21 catches by Oregon tight ends now. The most in the FBS for the tight end room. Gabriel coming back this way for James, and he is chopped down. It's the freshman Isaiah Chisholm for a loss of 4.
And that is a heck of a play, man. 2 Duck linemen out front. And you can't wait when you're a linebacker. You cannot hesitate. You're going to see the screen action, 2 big guys out there about 700 pounds. And Chisholm's got 1 shot, and that is to split those 2 and go get the tackle for loss, and he does just that.
He missed the 1st half last week for targeting there. He went low in a beautiful tackle.
A little bit of empty here, doing this to try to simplify the protection at the line of scrimmage. Now they'll bring Whittington back in.
Speed option here. Dillon Gabriel down the sideline. He's winning the foot race. Gabriel touchdown with a vapor trail from 54 yards.
We talk about the chess match, and give Will Stein checkmate right here. That motion brings it back in, and you're going to see the left side of the line, Connerly seal it. And all you want as a quarterback in speed option is one-on-one. So that whole formation and empty, you get a look, and then you bring your back in to get another look. And once Gabriel sees it's one-on-one, big time.
And now on the extra point, they're going to end up with Kenyon Sadiq into the end zone to speed down the sideline for the second Oregon score. Now the Beavers off this line drive kick will have it from the 25 back to the touchdown.
The key, and when you've started 52 games, you could slow it down, and then you can speed it up for 6.
And with all that's gone well at the quarterback position for Oregon, they're going to change for this drive. Jabari Johnson is in, the freshman for Oregon State, more of a running quarterback. And here is Jam Griffin leaning for a nice gain on first down to set up second down and 3.
Can I say one more thing, too?
Sure.
That question that Allison asked Dan Lanning about what you've got to do defensively, not just get off the field on third down. You've got to start defeating blocks. They have not done a good enough job of that these first 2 weeks.
A little tempo here. Birch throwing with it, and it's going to be a first down once again for Jam Griffin. So what does that look like, Brock, if we're watching at home?
That means for Harmon and Caldwell and Birch, when you are locked up, then you have got to shed that block. It's not just enough to, hey, I'm in the right position, I'm gap sound, as you'll hear people say. That's all fine, but you're too talented, too experienced. Get your hands on guys and throw them, disengage, so there can be more tackles at the point of attack. Wasn't good enough last week, and not a great start today.
Low snap, and he's going to have to dive on it. Johnson just had to put his body on top of the football. Betcher was closest. It'll be second down. New center.
New center, young quarterback. This ball comes pretty hot right between the legs. And you talk about the timing of that motion. I don't know if I love seeing such a young quarterback with all of the mechanics going on around and a new center. But I understand why they do it, because he's got tremendous playmaking speed.
They'll go under center here, that's for sure. It's a loss of 7. And they're behind the sticks. Johnson loads up a screen. He goes to the far side. He's got it to the back. Griffin out of the backfield. He'll get the yardage back on the loss, basically, and it's third down. So what do you do, right? Can you just not go out of the shotgun? Like, what's the plan?
No,
here?
you're going to continue to mix it, and he gets enough reps during the week of practice that absolutely not. You don't oversimplify it. You do what you do. Now, you've been good on third down, and part of it's because you've not had to look at this, 3rd and 11. This is where Oregon typically likes to heat it up or mix it up.
Another low snap. He's out of the pocket. Johnson rolling. They get a hand on him, and he's going to go down. That was Devin Jackson, the linebacker, who got a piece of him. Then Winston took him out of bounds. 4th down.
You asked the question, what does defeating blocks look like? Watch this right in the middle. Watch Harmon just win right away. See, get my hands on the center, and then I get through that line. Now, it's a little easier to do on 3rd and 11 in a passing situation.
How was that snap? I mean, he juggled it. It looked like low at first, but watching it again, it looked like it wasn't that bad of a snap.
There's a lot of things moving around real fast for a young quarterback.
Special teams was the game winner last week for Oregon against Boise State. Tez Johnson back to receive. We'll see if he gets a chance. The answer to that is maybe. Here he goes. Hemmed in for a moment. Can they keep him caged is the question. And he dances for a couple after a 50-40-yard punt.
I'm able to do, he said, I just remember the way he motivated me, opened doors to the idea of being able to play quarterback coming up in Hawaii. He said, I just want to instill that same sense of belief and motivation for youngsters watching now.
Really powerful to have somebody to aim for and an inspiration to follow as that run gets to about the 21. I mean, you can't miss Mariota in the facility in Eugene. Like, there's a huge hologram of him on one of the ceilings, and he has been that presence for this program. The Woodwinds are ready for 3rd down. The first 3rd down for Oregon today. Jaden Lamar into the backfield. 3rd down and 5. Gabriel rolling to his right. He throws with the left. He leans, and did he get the ball? There is the question. Where was the ball when he stepped out of bounds? That's what they will ask. Johnson chased him out of bounds, and let's see. It is a first down.
That is so good, and that is being a fixer. Just like Mariota was for so many years, that whole play was discombobulated. 2 ducks run into each other. And you're right, Jason, where is the ball as he once again is using those legs effectively That's a first down.
And he extends it over the sideline before he steps out of bounds there. First down, Lamar remains in. And he was the guy who saved the day on the kick return that got dropped at the goal line. And they're happy to have him right now. 2nd down and 8. James is in. It's play action. He'll throw near side. Tez Johnson keeps his feet and then sort of hopscotches to the sideline. It's 3rd down. He is so smooth, Brock.
You know, he reminds me, the more I watch Cavante Turpin, the Pro Bowler, the UFL, former UFL star and TCU guy, they're built about the same, like 160 pounds, and you wonder, how can they do this? But they are so twitchy and so elusive and just such a feel for space.
3rd and 3. Short toss for James. He's got the first down and more. Connerly wiped somebody out. Jordan the stop. It's a gain of 12.
Well, Connerly is just a stud. There's a reason he was a 5-star out of Seattle. He is so athletic, and once again, that edge is speed option the first time. That time it's a little toss play, crushing the edges.
Gabriel's deep ball for the first time today, and there's a marker coming in. That's a tackle by Andre Jordan on Evan Stewart.
Why would you say that?
No.
The jersey being pulled and tugged?
That's what we call fish in a barrel for an official.
Pass interference. Defense number 27. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
He is grabbing, pulling, impeding. That is, as you said, textbook right there. Very, very obvious. I love Dillon Gabriel's deep ball, man. It is a thing of beauty. Whatever they teach on the islands, two are the same way. Marcus, those guys know how to throw it deep.
Got the air nerf working. As he calls it, Gabriel wants to throw it back this direction. He's got a wide open tight end. Terrence Ferguson, little soft shoe to the 20-yard line. What a change of direction. It's a gain of 20.
Does he remind you just body type of Kelsey a little bit?
Oh, that's interesting.
As you just watch that run, he's got like the shoulder lean in front of him. He has movement and change of direction. I mean, that honestly, if you put Kelsey's number on there, and he's big. Terrence is 6'5", 260. But they just move so smooth and not stiff. And you can see the numbers off the charts. He's going to chase Ed Dixon and Josh Wilcox down this season.
Yeah, for all the records, Wilcox has the touchdown record for tight ends at Oregon. Gabriel loads a time. End zone. It's a touchdown. Trayshawn Holden.
Still booing Atticus.
Brock, I don't think they're going to stop.
Especially against Idaho. Nothing against them.
No.
But they have found it today, and it has all started at the line of scrimmage.
See if maybe special teams can do something for them with Card, the freshman. Yeah, he is not center fielder playing linebacker. It's the other way around, like you said. As here is Hankerson. Betcher got a hand on his foot but couldn't take him down. Second and 6. It's play action. With McCoy back in, he'll roll, come to this side, and Betcher flowing with the play, has in a big way. Allison 3rd and 2. Walker in motion, they'll follow him. McCoy throwing over the middle, and he's got Reddix. First down, Oregon State, and a big one. Play action. Here comes pressure, and he'll drop it off. It's Hankerson, hit from behind by Tuioti.
Defensively, you get a stop and get the ball back, and after halftime, you could step on the gas.
You could. McCoy giving ground again. He'll drop it off. Hankerson wide open. Green grass in the state of Oregon. A lot checks in, and he's thrown back. Tuioti, what a series. Hankerson in. Walker in motion. Straight ahead. Hankerson first down. Oh, he just absolutely trucked Betcher. First down from midfield. They'll run one play before the 2-minute. Walker. to the 40 and then some. On first down, McCoy to throw. Down the middle, he's got Noga, his second catch of the year. This drive is over 5 minutes now. They had a 6.5-minute drive earlier in the first half. McCoy to Walker. Oregon missed 2 tackles. There were 2 more ducks, and Walker just fought and fought and fought. It's third down.
Wow. Run this earlier, and Oregon is all over it, to your point. You do not see Brandon Johnson miss many of those tackles, but that was all want to.
Well, Walker told us as there's a first down. They're just running straight ahead now. That's Hankerson. His mom, his dad, his brother all went to Oregon State. He's got it in his blood. There he is in motion on first down. McCoy stays on it, throws, Walker, incomplete.
Personal foul, roughing the passer.
32 seconds left. First half. McCoy throwing it, end zone, incomplete. McCoy surveying and running. McCoy is very close. Here we go, he says. And they do. Hankerson, second effort, got him in. What a tough run.
They're wired differently sometimes.
He had a touchdown against Oregon State last year while with Colorado. The extra point is through. Oregon will get it out of halftime. I don't know why they haven't made the t-shirts with Dan Lanning's smile on the front. It has become so iconic there. Jordan James squeezes through the car wash and gets 9 on first down. It's Robinson to take him down, the senior.
Yeah, I think Oregon is showing you that without tackles for loss, without sacks, without penalties, and Dan Lanning thought he knew they were close. They were poised for this kind of production, and it has been so efficient.
Allison made a good point at halftime. No offensive penalties for Oregon in the first 30 minutes. Gabriel changing the play. Johnson in motion. He'll double back. Gabriel pops it over the top, and he's got a first down. That's the tight end Patrick Herbert, who had the big fumble last week. He's got a first down, gain of 9.
And again, plays like this happen because you have poise. And you have poise because you've played and seen everything in college football. He's played 52 games. You'll see a lot of quarterbacks in that moment. The game speeds up on them. They may take the sack, get tackled. No, he knows where his outlet is, where everybody is. And as we talked about just moments ago, pretty remarkable perfection.
He's getting more comfortable in this offense, it looks like, as well. Gabriel a laser this time. Coming this side, he's got Stewart, who ends up out of bounds. What did Dillon Gabriel tell you about the difference between the previous offense and this offense and learning it?
Yeah, for 5 years in Jeff Levy's system, it was like McDonald's. I'll take a value meal number 1. I mean, just the verbiage was so small, and this was like Bible verses out of Leviticus. Shifts and formations, emotions and movements, so much more verbiage, and it's taken time. But I will say this, they wanted to simplify. Will Stein said it was our best week of practice by far through camp in the first couple weeks, and you're seeing it on display.
Gabriel loads of time. Again to Stewart. Catch and run. First down. To be clear, that's the way Dillon Gabriel described learning the offense, by the way.
Yes. Yeah, and they're just now we get one-on-ones, and one-on-one, I trust my guys, and with the kind of speed that Stewart has and then hits the brakes. Wow, that's a lot of separation.
No chance for Robinson there. He was on skates. First down. It's a run, just like they did on the first play. It's James for a couple.
There's a lot of sabermetrics out there that tell you, and Will Stein knows this as he looks at his call sheet, that if you get sacked, how just destructive it is to production. And Jason, there's 7 sacks, 4 of them cause 3 and outs. And I think Will Stein in this offense knew if we just avoid the negative plays, stay on schedule, my gosh, do we have weaponry all over the field to utilize.
And they've avoided 3rd and long as well, as they go empty here on 2nd down. Gabriel with a lot of time, even in an empty set, to scan and fire. Once again, Tez Johnson. It's a first down, Oregon, and they are cooking.
Well, a three-man rush versus empty. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. Yeah, that's a lot of Mississippis.
It is. It's a mighty Mississippi.
20 yards on the play, first and 10.
First down, just outside of the 10. Gabriel wants to pop it over the top, and he will end up out of bounds. So second down coming up, and here are the sack numbers. I mean, this is
silly.
It really is. Bo Nix was so clean, had such a clean pocket those couple years.
He did, but he also got the ball out, right? And with Dan Lanning, it was the same system with Kenny Dillingham. And when they hit the ground running, just 5 sacks in each of those seasons. Different this year, and this looking a lot like the last 2 seasons with Bo Nix.
Ferguson downstairs. Gabriel throws a little high. It's James on the catch, and he seeks out contact with Robinson. That's a 2-car crash.
Wow. I'm just glad they all got up from that accident.
Yes. The last player from Jonathan Smith's first team here, Robinson, on the tackle that time. 3rd and 6.
4-point play right here.
Tyler Casper is in at the bottom of your screen. The bunch up top. Gabriel throws that way. Incomplete for Johnson. It wasn't an advanceable ball. It wasn't catchable. It's 4th down.
That was a touchdown. I mean, this is the only miss, right? You get in that bunch formation. You get a natural rub route. Everybody's running their routes. You can see the freshman, Vijuali, trying to come over the top of it. That one just put out in front, just a little bit of air. He throws line drives all over, but just a little more touch.
Bad time for the first incompletion. 15 of 16 now. Sappington hearing it at his former warm home. The ex-Beaver for 3. It is good. Oregon State held Oregon to a field goal. Zachary Card from 3 yards deep. Betcher's after him. Card gets knocked down. He gets drilled by Dante Manning. Seen a lot of Griffin and Hankerson, and this time it's Griffin weaving for a couple of yards short of the 20.
We've not seen much of him, and he is a difference maker in that front.
At points, he's been wearing the green dot on the helmet. Ball is loose. It's down on the deck and covered up. How much pressure will Tosh Lupoy bring?
And Bassa on the field for this 3rd down.
He was just signaling there. McCoy looked his direction. This throw is short of the line to gain, and Walker, if it is indeed a pitch count for Bassa, it would make sense they would use him on key plays like that one.
Yep.
4th down. Punt from Green. He got it away. Tez Johnson hits it, picks it up. Johnson keeps his feet. Look out. Changing direction. Now he's hemmed in. First down for Oregon. Whittington, the tailback. And he will tunnel his way, going low for about 4 yards. It's Tez Johnson in the backfield. And Gabriel looks his way. Johnson with those wide steps, staggering to the 38-yard line. What a weapon he is.
Yeah, he is. I like the way you say that. He's a long strider. He's just going to come in motion out of the backfield and run kind of that similar little out route that we saw down in the red zone that was just missed. Deshaun Jackson-like with those long strides for a small guy.
What a zigzagging run that time for Whittington. A nice run.
From Homewood Flossmoor High School.
So Vikings, it's a run. It's Whittington changing direction. Bouncing outside. First down and more. Noah Whittington. Again, they start empty, and they'll give it to Whittington, turning upfield. All right, same look, different running back. It's James this time. Gabriel rolling and throwing, and off the hands of a frustrated Tez Johnson. It was a laser, but he nearly squeezed it. 3rd down.
Not a lot of it today.
Not a lot of third down tries. They're just 2 for 3. Movement at the line. Could be a free play. There is a marker down. It is a free play. Oh, that's a strike to Johnson, and he holds on to win the wrestling match.
You just got to be tough like him.
You don't want me going over the middle. Here's James, spinning, wheeling, driving. No way! Oh, he's down at the 1. Oh my goodness. That is very close. Call it 2nd and goal. Feed him. Looking for the goal line. James. They'll unpack. Let's see. Is he in? Yes, he is. 1 play later.
But this O-line needed this kind of effort.
Well, for Dan Lanning, who last year used, people are going to grab some food. Oregon State with a key possession coming here as Card on the approach from outside of the 5. He goes straight ahead. First down, Oregon State. Important drive for McCoy and the Beavers. Right down the middle. And Jackson with a big hit immediately. Can't get one-dimensional, right? So here's a run. They'll go straight ahead and jam Griffin. 3rd down and 4. For Oregon State. Noga in motion next to Walker. McCoy has it batted and incomplete. Really harmful to their chances. Tez Johnson back to receive this punt. He tracks it to the near sideline, and he's going to let this one roll. And Oregon will be backed up in the shadows. I had a downturn, and then I figured it out, did a little more work, and I'll go straight ahead, and Jordan James for a couple of yards.
And just some of that maturity.
Going to run it again. Jordan James. 2nd hole was a good one. That's a 1st down. 1st down run, James again. He whirls. He gets into the secondary.
It's become really difficult to defend.
It's a hand, Trayshawn Holden. Behind Herbert. Holden turns upfield. It's another gash.
A throw over their head.
48 yards the last 3 plays for Oregon. Gabriel out of the pocket, and he will find his way out of bounds. You see the value of that across college football. We saw it with Van Dyke in our first game of our triple header today. Second down, Whittington in. He squeezes through a crease, and he's on his way. Whittington! Let's see. Touchdown, Whittington.
Man, what a block from Ferguson.
Oh, that was 15 yards worth of a block, Brock.
You set the whole table for everybody else. And what a response today.
That effort can be so contagious, right? It
Yes.
just kind of drives the team. First down, Oregon State, trailing by 25, largest lead for the Ducks today. And McCoy with some air under it. He got it to Walker.
Whether or not they've truly learned that lesson that they have to still establish themselves as a team.
I love that you mentioned that, Allison, because you asked the question, and I think Oregon learned a lot of lessons last year, even here 2 years ago, but it's a different group, and they're learning them together right now to the tune of a 25-point lead. McCoy sees Birch, and this throw goes to the sideline. Oregon goes into the bye week next week before playing at UCLA. Here comes Birch again. He's relentless. That's a high screen. It's Hankerson on a nice catch. See it on the football field. He gives everything. A guy who very easily could be a Major League Baseball player, as that's over the middle and nearly intercepted. Different varieties of defense give him a greater menu of things he understands when he does make it to the NFL level. Tez Johnson, a fair catch at the 20. Beautiful day for football, and Oregon taking advantage. There's an opportunity with how long this season might get, right? The expanded playoff, as they'll drop this off for Sadiq, and what a weapon he is. There's a marker down at the 28.
I think that's going to be a hold on Ferguson.
Illegal block in the back. Offense number 3. 10-yard penalty.
A whole bunch of depth.
Second down, Gabriel. He's got Lamar in front of him. Gabriel goes to the next level, and that's whipped to Tez Johnson. First down. First down for Oregon. Gabriel again. Clean pocket. Right down the middle, and that's incomplete. One right-handed, one left-handed. Gabriel incomplete. He wanted just as low. It caught a hand. Third down.
Yeah, that one almost caught the umpire right in the head as he ducks out of the way. And that's one with a lot of people around you. We saw Lowe earlier with a tremendous, tremendous block. But that's one through traffic the youngster would love to corral.
Keith Vavracek, the umpire's okay.
Yes.
Third down and 10.
Second chainsaw for those county.
Empty set, it's a screen. They run a lot of those to the far side, and Lamar breaks free. Jaden Lamar is gone. But they've got the score where they want it, so it will wash over pretty quickly. Sappington again knocks it through.
Then the heads up one a week ago.
He picked up the ball in the end zone after it got dropped at the 1 yard line. Very smartly, and now Oregon State will have it, trailing 46-14.
Humming in every phase of it this afternoon.
McCoy sees the pocket collapse on him, and he goes down. He is officially sacked. It's a loss of 1. Looked like Tuioti was in there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, my big guy Caldwell did all the work.
339.
Yeah, 339, not 340, 339. Thank you very much.
Well, you joke, but he's worked on
Yes,
that.
he has.
To be in playing shape, to be able to play.
That's right.
This late in the game is impressive.
It's awesome. Done a lot of cardio work, not just the running, it's the biking, it's the stuff in the pool. To have the kind of stamina, because he's a difference maker.
2nd and 11 for McCoy. Down the middle, and that's on target. It's going to be a first down, caught by Walker. Trent Walker just has this rivalry deep in his veins.
Yeah, you're going to see this little in cut come right here, and that is a bang play. Tyler Turner is all over it there. That ball, that was kind of a Dillon Gabriel conviction throw. Like, this thing's going to get there in a hurry because there's no margin for error.
Walker's best friend growing up, he said, was a big Duck fan. Very tight relationship with a lot of Oregon fans. As this comes to the sideline, that's a nice ball from McCoy. Gets it to the tight end Caulfield, and it's a gain of 13.
And obviously everything from here on out for Trent Bray is going to be no huddle.
We're going to play a pretty Mountain West heavy schedule this year with the Pac-2 as it is. As Uiagalelei tries to rush, this comes near side. That's knocked away by Dante Manning to set up 2nd and 10. But in the future, things are going to change for Oregon State with the announcement this week of the Pac-12 and its expansion.
Yeah, Oregon State and Washington State not relying on anybody else. You know, just kind of not playing the waiting game. They were the one to say, nope, we're going to put this in our own hands and steer the direction of the ship moving forward, adding 4 and more to come.
It is good to see the Apple Cup being played, this game being played, as you said, off the top of the show. 3rd down and 6. McCoy. That's knocked away by Manning again. Really nice day for him.
Can't you just see the difference, Jason, of the separation?
Yes.
I mean, Oregon guys are just running free, and there is Manning, maybe a little fistful of jersey.
That might be interference.
Yeah, that's probably interference. Yep. But he is in the hip pocket, and that is now 0 for 4 for these Beavers on 3rd down in the second half. Remember, Dan Lanning said we got to fix the 3rd down and get off the field. Some pretty good adjustments and some pretty tight coverage.
That's what he told Allison early on in the ball game. This is a 4th down. They had a big one early. They'll double team Birch, and McCoy misses. He had Wells coming toward Caulfield.
Now going to be watching his backup.
Yeah, he's done. Dante Moore is in. Jay Harris is the tailback, the transfer from Northwest Missouri State. Dante Moore transferred from UCLA. He left UCLA. He was born and raised in Detroit, a 5-star recruit, and they have a well-stocked quarterback cabinet.
They do, and they've kept the 1-0 line in for him on this drive.
They'll throw near side. Number 1 wide receiver as well, literally. Trayshawn Holden gets a first down for Oregon. Why is that so important?
Well, I think for the O-line to go finish. Right? If that is a common refrain and you want to build even more continuity with this group that's done a phenomenal job today, go finish. And you'll see maybe some of the younger people on the perimeter. Maybe no more Terrence Ferguson as you see Sadiq there, but yeah, give the backup quarterback the opportunity to thrive behind this line.
Harris is wrangled in the backfield and stopped. Nice work by the Oregon State defensive line.
It was Thomas Collins.
Yeah.
I think for the first time beating the block that time of Struther trying to pull around.
Out of the RIG Academy, the American Football Academy in Sweden. They did hours of football practice, then went to class afterward. Specifically a football academy to get him to this level.
Well, it's been good for Australian punters. So we'll see if this academy
Swedish defensive lineman.
Yeah, we'll see if they can get it going. He's on the forefront of it.
Second down at 12. Dante Moore. A lot of air under it to the sideline and incomplete for Casper, and there's a marker coming in. Kobe Singleton on the coverage. He was stuck to Casper.
Man, that ball comes out of Dante Moore's hands
with
easily.
Emotion.
Yes.
Pass interference. Defense number 0. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Yeah, that's 6'6" on 5'10", and once again, I think we've seen the contact allowed, but I think the judgment there by the back judge was holding on to that arm by Singleton, just did not allow it. It just impeded Casper the opportunity to go get it.
See Salia Paga has checked in as a tight end as well, number 83.
True freshman.
Moore to Harris out of the backfield behind the tight end, and he got a very effective block, but there was a second Beaver. It's Chisholm, and second down.
You know, just one other thing is you're preparing for this game, and just about every one of these Oregon recruits, 4-star, 4-star. 4-star.
5-star.
5-star. 4-star. 4-star.
You okay? Your battery's all right?
There are just not many 2 or 3 stars on this roster, although maybe there were some that started at other places and played well enough at East Carolina to
Kobe Savage.
Yes, to come here and be a difference maker.
Paris, Texas.
Yep.
Junior college, D2. Harris. And he stopped.
There you see Tosh. Going to always respect and use high school recruiting first and foremost.
Moore rolling right. On 3rd and 8, he'll drop it off, and that's Lamar, who does get the catch. He's out of bounds, and we'll see if they have one more chance to boo Atticus Sappington before the Oregon bus leaves Corvallis. Fourth and 2. It's going to be one more chance. Yep. Ross James didn't punt today, so Dunn is going to hold. He's not the typical holder. Sappington in a hostile environment specifically for him. Knocks it down, and his holder was really excited. Oregon State will see it again, and I mean, you said it right off the top. Allison echoed it. The identity of the Oregon Ducks.
If Michigan plays to their ceiling this season, talent-wise, it's not what Oregon is capable of doing.
McCoy is wrapped up.
They've been teeing off the last couple drives.
McCoy fading to his right. There's a marker down as he was
holding. Offense number 66.
But the Buckeyes, they get him in their building in a few weeks.
Low snap. McCoy throws a screen, and he's got it for Hankerson. He's had a very nice day, and Hankerson trying to make a couple of memories for the folks who've stayed.
It is a pretty thin group up front,
especially with some injuries as well. There's a line drive throw, and it's going to be a first down for Reddick.
That he made, that really getting guys to understand what it's going to take here to move it forward. You got to know how to develop it. And then that coaching staff's going to be super, super important, Jason, moving forward.
3rd down and 4. It's McCoy to throw. He's got Reddix, the freshman, again. He tries to turn upfield, and he gets smushed. Really impressive Sterling performance at Camp Randall earlier. It's batted away, and it's incomplete. Laulea, and there is a marker coming in.
But they're still barking
Pass
down there.
interference. Defense number 13.
And their chance to shine.
They were tied for 3rd in all of college football in tackles for loss allowed last year. They had allowed 10 sacks combined the last 2 years, and this was a little bit of a colander of an offensive line the first 2 weeks, but the holes have been patched very well, very smartly, and Oregon's going to walk out of here in Corvallis with a signature win for their season to this point.
Yeah, you know what else is nice for those players? We get to go into a bye week too. I get a chance to just feel good about yourself and go in that bye week and get Jeffrey Bassa totally healthy. And then it's down to the Rose Bowl. It's Michigan State on a Friday night. And then those Buckeyes in less than a month.
Big Ten's going to be real fun this year. When we get into the throes of conference play, whoa. The Oregon Ducks, who lost their chance at a college football playoff berth here 2 years ago, get their first win in Corvallis in 6 seasons. All Oregon in the second half, 49-14, the final score. Local product winning in this series. Downstairs, Allison.
Dillon, I don't think there's any denying this did not look like the Oregon team we saw the first 2 weeks. For you, what was different today?
Yeah, I just think, you know, as you go through adversity together, you get closer. And, you know, you see that today, but also just being committed to the process. You know, although we weren't getting the result we were wanting at the time, you know, we just continue to build days, and ultimately you come out and you dominate.
One of the areas I know you guys wanted to improve was on the offensive line. Today, 0 sacks, 0 penalties committed. Can you just describe for me the statement that group made?
Yeah, I'm just proud of those guys. You know, I think naturally there's a lot of things that, you know, were said, and we took that personally. You know, these are guys that pride themselves in the run game and then protecting me, and I can't thank them enough. You know, at the law firm, and then, you know, the freak shows, boys in the back, you know, they're just running at will.
It was an impressive performance, and you told me there's a lot of new pieces, and you guys are still learning to blend as a team. What did this game do to help establish some of that identity?
Yeah, just confidence within game, you know, reps, and I think they, you know, done a great job of that. And you see, as you know, we don't take negatives, and we don't put ourselves in, you know, down in distance that are tough, and then, you know, penalties as well. I think, you know, you combine all that and you create positive plays, and good things happen.
Dillon, thank you so much for the time. Congrats.
Thank you.